We take you to the local front. Congressman Richie Torres was on the ground with some local environmental justice leaders addressing health and environmental concerns. Our Bronx Net reporter, Kim Aline, brings us the story right now.
It is no longer an existential threat for the future. The health impacts of climate change are now.
Congressman Richie Torres joins local environmental justice leaders for a press conference addressing health and environmental justice issues facing the South Bronx.
The South Bronx has long been defined by a rich tradition of social services and public health and environmental justice activism.
Environmental justice leaders say Bronx residents can expect to see efforts mitigating pollution in the borough. Improving public health remains a long-time goal for the Bronx, continuously facing some of the worst health outcomes in the state of New York.
Our community residents have a life expectancy 7 to 10 years lower than those who live 2 subway stops away from us.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Assistant Secretary Admiral Rachel Levine joined Torres in the fight for health equity. Focusing on the effects of climate change, Admiral Levine explains how the introduction of the Inflation Reduction Act will benefit communities affected most by the climate crisis.
The Inflation Reduction Act represents the most significant climate legislation in U.S. history, and it positions America to meet President Biden's bold goals of reaching net zero emissions no later than 2050.
Admiral Levine and Congressman Torres says today's event was just one part of educating Bronxites about the changes coming to the borough to improve health outcomes. Reporting for BronxNet, Kim Aline.
In city news, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson recently announced the relaunch of the Disability Advisory Council to commemorate the Americans with Disabilities Act anniversary. Our BronxNet reporter, Ibrahim Hersey, has the story.
The Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, is a civil rights law that prohibits discrimination based on a disability. This July was the 32nd anniversary of ADA, and Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson announced the relaunch of the Disability Advisory Council to bring awareness and visibility to issues faced by Americans with disabilities in the borough.
We want to make sure that they understand their voices are important. So reestablishing the Borough President's Disability Advisory Council is a way to not only encourage people from the disability community to come forward with a lot of recommendations and ideas on policies, but also to share resources and information.
To emphasize the significance of supporting people with disabilities, the Borough President's Office is parenting with Help on the Way, Inc. Omar De Los Santos, an Associate Director of Help on the Way, Inc., talks about what they do as an organization and their goal to help people with disabilities.
Help on the Way is a non-profit organization. It was founded in 2006. We provide service to people with developmental disability. Our goal is to make the life of the people with disability easier.
Parent to Children Disabilities, Samson Rivera describes the impact the organization has on his family.
This is a tool that they gave me that I've learned how to change her behavior, and in doing so, she's very well behaved now, and she can socialize and get along with her other peers as well.
Gibson sends an inspirational message to those living with disabilities.
We want to make sure that they know it's not a crutch, but rather we want it to shape who you are. We want it to define, who you can be, your possibilities, all of your great potential.
Reporting for BronxNet, Ibrahim Hersey.
And thank you, Ibrahim. That is all the time we have for our Bronx updates. We don't want you to go anywhere. Oprah continues right after this.